Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai. Shri Shri Prahlad Lakshmi Singhadev Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, are we okay to speak English? Wer versteht kein Englisch, wo es Kishori kommt? Yeah, she will come soon. She always comes then. When we decide to start to speak English, then Kishori comes. Brian, you translate for. So, wenn jemand doch irgendwie unsicher ist und ein bisschen Hilfestellung braucht, der kann zu Brian und Brusha Zimmer gehen. Ansonsten, otherwise we start to read from Sri Chaitanya Chaitamrita, the pastimes of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, the ecstatic incarnation of Radha and Krishna who appeared in the Kali Yuga. Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Kali Yuga? To deliver the fallen souls. Yeah, but how he does this? Yes, by the Sankirtan movement. And is that all? Chanani was Prabhu spoke about a selfish desire of Mahaprabhu. Thank you. Das ist Kishorikon. Vielen Dank, Kishorikon, und Applaus für Kishorikon. Hallo! Ich glaube, Brian, kannst du Kishorikon mit übernehmen, oder? Brian übersetzt. What's the selfish desire of Mahaprabhu? Huh? To experience the love Radharani experience when she is surfing or when she is approaching Sri Krishna. And what is Radharani? What is her? Who can describe Radharani? Yeah, now translate this more for people who maybe don't know. How you would explain this to somebody on the street?
This is God with a woman version.
What?
This is God with a woman version.
A God with a woman version. Okay, but what woman? I mean, woman. This is already. It's such a loaded word nowadays. So how you would describe? Somebody has an idea how to describe it more?
So Krishna has, of course, unlimited energies, and Radharani is his pleasure energy.
The pleasure energy. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's not wrong, but maybe we can. Somebody else. What does she? How does she give pleasure? How does she give pleasure? By what she's doing? What's her business?
Serving.
She's servant. She's serving, and she is the best of all servants. Now, of course, when we come around the corner again with this woman and man, then of course people will stand up and say, "No, the woman only serving." No. Therefore, we say Ladini Shakti or Prakriti Shakti. It's an energy, right? And because of this Ladini Shakti, we say her as the serving factor, and this is put together with female qualities. Now, to whom belong the jivas, all the souls? To which energy do they belong? No. No, they are Prakriti. We are all Prakriti. We are all female. We all serving energy. We belong to this serving energy. So we belong to Radha's gang. Right? We are all in this. We all meant to serve. We all meant to serve. And then, of course, with our Western mind, we have always the idea there's somebody who's sitting there, the whole day, fat, and everybody has to serve him. But the real Purusha, the real we would maybe say male, although it's not when we stick in this male and female, we automatically come on the bodily platform. But it's not, has nothing to do with bodies. But the Purusha energy, what everything comes from, is the one who has to be served. But if you look closely, he is the one who first of all serves Prakriti, who provides everything. He provides, so he serves, he's the topmost servant. And then from this, the energy of Prakriti comes out and serves back. It's like feedback. I feed you back. I serve you back. So that's very important to understand. We belong to Radha's camp. We belong to this service energy of the Lord. And when we do that, we naturally become what we become naturally? Happy, yeah. We become not only happy, we become ecstatic. Actually, because finally we do this what we meant for, what we are meant for, to serve the higher source, the higher Shakti. And Prabhupada always describes this with the fish out of the water. When you when the fish is out of the, when you bring a fish out, you see on the land, you see a flapping fish just came out of the water, and you think, oh, this poor fellow, he's the, anyway, if I put him back in the water, he only can swim in water. No, let me serve him. Let me put him in a nice chair on the ocean where he can sit with some sun umbrella, give him a cool drink so he can enjoy. But would be the fish happy? No, he would die. He would die. All our efforts to keep the fish alive and to bring him happiness, because we're concerned about the fish. But the fish would die because it's not the nature for a fish to sit in a sun chair and have a cool drink, right? And he would suffer. And therefore, this is our position actually in the moment where we try to somehow or other imitate the Supreme God and try to take His position. We try so many times, so many endeavors to copy Him. But we never ever come to the end of the line. There's always frustration because it's not our nature. But in this moment, we come in our nature of serving the Supreme, then we become finally happy. Well, this sounds now all like a big, you can tell anything, of course, because you want that we all serve or whatever, But it's actually a philosophy. What is so deep and is so true is such a deep tattva, we say. It's such a deep wisdom that it's actually, as Prabhupada put it, Krishna consciousness is simple for the simple and complicated for the complicated. So everybody can enjoy it. So much philosophy. And if you can roll it up and put it in the most complicated philosophy. But if you're simple, you just take the essence and say, yes, I'm a servant, let me serve. Let me make the experience. And now we have here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who actually advanced only 500 years ago. And he, in this section of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, what you could say is like a biography of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although it's not completely true, because it contains so much knowledge, so much wisdom about, or truth about his personality and his esoteric appearance in this world. Therefore, it's more than just a simple biography. It's more like a biography filled with tattva, with so much knowledge and realizations of, in this time, the Goswamis and Krishnadas Kaviraj, the author of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, packed all this knowledge together and formed it into a book, what is like a praise, a presentation, a praise of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now we're reading today from the Madhya Lila, what is kind of the middle section of his life, and we start with, it's 23. Huh? Is he not 24? Did I not? Sorry, I read 22. Are we sure it's 23? Yeah, but Madhya Lila 20. I thought it's Madhya Lila 22.
Maybe I'm mistaken. I wrote the verse in the board.
I can look. Okay, what we have Madhya 23 then. Okay, my whole preparation flies now out of the window. Okay, so we go for 23, Madhya 23. But this is how it is in life, isn't it, huh?
The plan says 22, and if you prepare for it, you can also make 22. Yeah, we 22, 23. Yeah, I just made a mistake. I wrote the verse number wrongly in the top. So.
I mean, I don't mind when you want to hear the, I mean, just the verses are not right.
Yeah.
We cannot chant together.
Yeah.
So I just read it. Okay, then Madhya 22. Cheers. Okay, the verse goes. 32. Krishna tomara hana yadi bala ekabara maya banda haite Krishna tare kare para. One is immediately freed from the clutches of Maya if he seriously and sincerely says, "My dear Lord Krishna, although I have forgotten you for so many long years in this material world, today I am surrendering unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service." No? What? You have the wrong book now.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Do you have 22? Okay, I continue with 34. Sakrit eva prapnoyas tavasmit cha yachate apayan sarvada lasmai danmya etat vrintam mama. Sorry, I switched to my tablet. My eyes are much too for the small. Although I love this book, I have it since a long time, but it becomes too small for me. I mean, I become too old for the book. It is my vow that if one seriously surrenders me, saying, "My dear Lord, from this day I am yours," and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time on. Purport is a small purport. This verse from the Ramayana was spoken by Lord Ramachandra. Of course, it's a very famous verse. But we speak later. We go through the verses to 39, and then we have a purport, and then we can speak about different things. 35. Mukti mukti sita kami supudi yadihaya gade bhakti yoga tabe krishnera bhajaya. Due to bad association, the living entity desires material happiness, liberation, or merging into the impersonal aspect of the Lord. Or he engages in mystic yoga for material power. If such a person actually becomes intelligent, he takes to Krishna consciousness by engaging himself in intense devotional service to Lord Sri Krishna. Okay, text 36. Akama sava kamova moksha kama utadi tiverena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Whenever one desires everything or nothing, or whatever he desires to merge into the existence of the Lord, he is intelligent only if he worships Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by rendering transcendental loving service. Here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because it's a conversation between Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami, here he refers his statement. First, he makes the statements, then he backs it up with a verse of the Ramayana, and now he backs it up with a verse from the Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, verse number 10. And then he continues, Anya kami yadikare Krishnera bachana nama giteha Krishna tare dena svascharana. If those who desire material enjoyment or merging into the existence of the Absolute Truth engage in the Lord's transcendental loving service, they will immediately attain shelter at Krishna's lotus feet, although they did not ask for it. Krishna is therefore very merciful. So that's very interesting. So if we have some desires, what is different from the Absolute Truth or the Lord's transcendental loving service, if we attain the shelter of Krishna by submitting to Him, saying, please Lord, take care of me, then Krishna, although we have not completed the pure desire to surrender to Krishna, Krishna will make sure to track us, to help us, that we overcome these impurities, what we still carry in our heart. Murari and his mother. Okay, 38. Krishna kare amapache maga vashyam shuka amrita chadi visha mage epada murka. Krishna says, if one engages in my transcendental loving service, but at the same time wants the opulence of material enjoyment, he is very, very foolish. Indeed, he is just like a person who gives up ambrosia to drink poison. So that's, for example, when we say, if one becomes the servant of a great king, and the great king says, if you want to serve me, you can live with me in my castle, because I need my servants very close to me. And the servant says, no, it's okay, I want to stay in my hut, right? In my hut where I have nothing. Now Chara also comes. So verse 39, Ami Vigna e Mukhe Vishaya Kena Diba Svacharamrita Diya Vishaya Bulaiba. Since I am very intelligent, why should I give this fool material prosperity? This is asking Krishna. Instead, I shall induce him to take the nectar of the shelter of my lotus feet and make him forget illusory material enjoyment. So in there, Srila Prabhupada, he gives a purport. Those who are interested in material enjoyment are known as bhukti kami. One who is interested in merging into the effulgence of Brahman or perfecting the mystic yoga system is not a devotee at all. Devotees do not have such desires. However, if a kami, jnani or yogi somehow contacts a devotee and renders devotional service, Krishna immediately awards him love of God and gives him shelter at his lotus feet. Although he may have no idea how to develop love of Krishna, if a person wants material profit from devotional service, Krishna condemns such materialistic desires. To desire material opulence while engaging in devotional service is foolish. Although a person may be foolish, Krishna, being all-intelligent, engages him in his devotional service in such a way that he gradually forgets material opulence. The point is that we should not try to exchange loving service for material prosperity. If we are actually surrendered to the lotus feet of Krishna, our only desire should be to satisfy Krishna. That is pure Krishna consciousness. Surrender means not that we demand something from the Lord, but that we completely depend on His mercy. Shri Shri Pradat Lakshmi Shingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. If Krishna likes, He may keep His devotee in a poverty-stricken condition. Or, if He likes, He may keep him in an opulent position. The devotee should not be concerned in either case. He should simply be very serious about trying to satisfy the Lord by rendering Him service. Om Agnanati Midasya Knananshana Shalakya Chakshun Medam Yena Tasmei Shikrave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Stavidam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Svabarandikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So who can give a summary of this, what we heard now in the verses. Now, what was the first statement? Just in summary, just what you remember. What Mahaprabhu was saying here, Sundarsham.
If a devotee once says to Krishna that I am yours, Krishna gives him darshan.
Yes. So that's basically that's the point Mahaprabhu tried to do here to Sanatana Goswami. He says, those devotee who once tells me, Lord, today I am yours, I take care of him fully. And what do you think of such a statement? What does come in your mind when you hear this? You think merciful, okay. Who else thinks something? Maybe something else?
Is it really like that?
Is it really like that? Yes, some doubt. Is it really like that? Or somebody else has some idea? What's your name? Huh? Beatrice. Oh, Beatrice, yeah. Okay, Beatrice. Because you knew. All others, they say what they think I want to know to hear. When somebody would come to you and would say, on the day you say, I belong entirely to you, I take care of you for everything, what you would think? Huh? Devotion from whom? Or from you. You would think that requires devotion? Okay. Somebody else. What you would think? Yours now. What's your name? You. Sometimes I'm cross-eyeing if I'm tired. What's your name? Yeah. Victoria. Okay, Victoria.
Yeah, I think that I will be liberated from all burdens, and like I will not have control everything, and like I will not place to the place of God, and finally I will free. I will be like free.
Free. Okay, that's three very, very good and deep points as well. I mean, devotion, that was also good, but you said, first of all, you would be...
First of all, I will be liberated from all burdens.
Yeah, okay. Liberation from material world. Okay, that's one thing.
It's like, firstly, you might think that you can be liberated only through this unknown personal aspect, but then maybe it can be another way too.
Okay, so you have some idea about the philosophy already. Okay, but what else did you say? You said liberation is kind of a relief. Okay, what else did you say?
Also joy and happiness,
Okay.
because like you're free and like
Yeah, free was your third point. There was one in the middle. What I thought was very.
so you don't feel that you control everything and you don't place yourself on the place of God.
Yes. The point of control I found very significant, because in one sense we liberated and we feel a sense of freedom. But what does it imply? In regard of control. Huh? What? Controller? No, but now what do you want to say? Victoria?
Like you accept the will of God, nevertheless what's going to happen to you,
Huh.
you don't control it, like
So you losing, you get liberation,
try
You get freedom, but you lose. You lose control. What do you also knew? What's your name again? Edgar. Yeah, right. We met already.
Yeah.
Edgar, what do you think?
I'd like to ask, because to me it sounds like if you live in the material world, which is also a funny concept. I don't understand completely what it is, but because we all have materials, you know, we all sit on chairs, we are here, we also embraced by beautiful materials, right?
Yes.
So would Krishna be angry if I have a beautiful house with crystals and plants that inspire me? You know, I'm just confused.
Yeah. Okay, that's a very, very good point. We can speak about this, but if you don't mind, I want to go back to this point, and later on we can speak about this what you said. Okay, I found this also. It's very deep actually. In this moment, I tell to somebody, I surrender. Right? I give myself to you. What does it mean? I lose myself, right? I'm losing myself. And this is something what many people, I mean most people, for myself, it's difficult. Because you give up. What you give up? Not only control, you give up as well.
My own desire.
Your own desire, and this means, you know, what comes with desire? What comes with desire? Huh? Yes, but to in order to fulfill your desire, you need first of all what?
Free will.
Free will, freedom. You know, if you live in a country what is restricted by your freedom, what to speak of fulfilling your desires, because they may be not in accordance with the state laws or something like that. So what the Lord gives us, first of all, is freedom. He gives us freedom. And that's a sign of love, as we always say. Right? If I tell my wife, Bhagavad Gita, if I tell her, I love you, but I lock you at home, that you cannot run away, that's not freedom. I don't give her freedom. But if I give her freedom, then I give her the trust that she will not run away, right? So, but in the moment we got married, we gave ourselves up. We gave up our independence and sort of surrender to each other, right? So I gave up my freedom and gave it to Gopal Gita. I surrendered my freedom to her lotus feet. Did I? Yes, but that's the process. And to give up one's freedom is actually something what we achieve them, a higher freedom. Huh? How is that? It's like when somebody comes and says, "Oh, you are Hare Krishnas. You're not allowed to smoke, to drink. You don't have any freedom," isn't it? And what we would say, it's true, right? Not allowed to drink, not allowed to smoke. But if you look from another point of view, you could say, no, I chose not to smoke. I chose not to drink. And if you have somebody who stands in front of you, "You are Krishnas, you're not allowed to smoke," you can tell him, "Yes, I chose not to smoke. Now you chose not to smoke. Are you free to choose not to smoke? Or are you depending? Are you dependent on your smoking? Are you forced to smoke? Who forces you to smoke? It's only yourself. Yes, it's only your brain. It's only your senses. So I choose freedom to not follow a particular pattern of this world, to gain a higher freedom. Because I'm free to be depending on having to smoke. And this is with all material things. Now, a little bit touching, Edgar, your point. The cigarette is not bad. My habit is the problem. This brings us closer to your topic. So meaning, in the moment I give up my freedom and surrender to the Lord and submitting, I'm your servant, I belong to you. In this moment, I give up all the weight of the world. Because with freedom comes what? What comes with freedom? I choose my freedom.
Responsibilities for your choice.
Yes, exactly. Responsibilities. With freedom comes responsibilities. And in this moment, I give up my freedom. I'm not responsible anymore if I follow the complete rules, whatever. This is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Just give up your ideas how the world should be. I said it already. That's the plan. But if you keep your freedom, you're responsible for it. Right? So in this sense, in the moment where we say, okay, I surrender to you, my Lord, and I become your servant, then who is responsible? If I do only what he wants. Huh? Yeah, he's responsible. And he takes this responsibility. Like a husband takes the responsibility for his wife and his children. And the lady, or in the same way, the wife accepts responsibility for the relationship with the husband as well. No? So that's something what is actually what has to be deeply understood, that when we surrender, we give up our freedom to gain a higher freedom. So now, you could say, well, it's nicely done, but I see so many things in the world, like why God doesn't come and intervene if so many cruel things happening in Palestine, in Ukraine, wherever you look at, in the material world, why God doesn't intervene. What would be your answer? Charu. Okay, he puts us in a test. That's a very good point. Thank you. Some other thoughts? Yes. So because we still have the tendencies that we think, no, let me handle it. Let me do it. Because when I do it, what happens then? Well, yeah, I get the mercy, but what else do I get? Mostly, what we're looking for. And I say, okay, yeah, let me handle it. Huh? We get the respect. See, he did it. Right? And therefore, we try also, we won't surrender, whatever, but let me handle it. Before I come to you, God, before I turn to you, let me handle it. Let me show what I can do. And then if it turns out right, then we happily standing, okay, we close the altar now. It's me. Like, can somebody close, like, it's me. It's me who did it. So that's another problem. I'm boring, Beatrice, sorry. Okay. Yeah, Joe.
But then
Well, he helps you from this point when Draupadi, what happened in the assembly of the famous story, Mahabharata, Draupadi was in the assembly of the Kurus. So what happened there? Charu, the only one awake. Because you slept till now. The sari, yeah, they tried to disrobe her. So she tried everything. The kind of, she spoke, she looked for shelter. First of all, she hold on. She tried to, no, don't, Dushasan. How dare you? She threatened him. My husbands, they will kill you. Bhima will stand on your head. On your dead head. Right? If you continue like this and they say, look at your husbands. They belong to us already. They lost you. And then she tried to argument. Okay, if they lost me, if they were lost before me, how they could gamble me? Sure, she tried it with arguments. Nothing worked. Then she tried to take shelter of whom? No. She went to Bhishma and said, all you elders of the Kuru times, how you can allow this? In this assembly hall, what is a sacred assembly hall, I've been disrobed. I'm touched as a woman by a man. How this is any culture? Bhishma, how you can allow this? You the head, you Bhishma Dev. I mean, you should know. How you can close your eyes? Still, they kept on pulling. And then in one point, she just let go. Held up her arms and she said, Hey Govinda! You help me, I have nobody else. I can't do anything, I'm bankrupt. And then suddenly, her sari became longer and longer and longer. And Dushasan was pulling and pulling and pulling, and there was a whole stack beside him, and that's a miracle. And then he gave up because he saw she's protected by somebody else. So in this moment, when we turn to Krishna and said, you please help, then he takes over control, he takes over responsibility, and we are just there. We just fulfill our role as a servant. And that's a difficult choice for us to do, actually, for each and every mantra what we chant. This choice we have to do every time, every second, every mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Did I have my mind on the lotus feet of Krishna? Or did my mind wander to my own glories, to my own plans, to my own desires, to my past? Each and every time we are questioned, or do we have to question our loyalty? Do I do this for Krishna, or do I do this for myself? Do I worship Krishna on the altar, or do I want that everybody sees me? Ramananda, every day on the altar, he gets up very early, right? He is so renounced. Should see me when I get out of bed. You think zombie world broke out. So that's, do we do this action for ourselves, or do we do it for the Lord? And this means devotee. Devotee, this is what Prabhupada, the points what Prabhupada later makes. In this moment, we look for our own desires. Then we're not devotees. Now, what chance do we have? Because, if I look at myself, so many times I do things for myself, although it looks devotional, with tilak and, nice devotional dress. But still, I always keep in the back of my mind, what's there for me? Right? The simple definition of love is what? I always say it, but I think it's so important, we always have to repeat it again and again. What is a simple the definition of love? Means what?
Selfless.
Yeah, she said this already, but what means selfless?
I don't have any my personal motive behind it.
Say what?
I don't have any personal motive, my personal motive behind it.
No personal motive.
Under all circumstances, I make you happy. That's my love for you. Now, of course, that means some relationship, it's like, but love means under all circumstances, I make somebody else happy. And the turnaround is, then what? What is the turnaround of love? Huh? Yeah, well, hate is an expansion of this, what I mean? Is another expansion of lust. Love and lust. Because lust means under all circumstances, I make whom happy? I myself happy. So and therefore in each and every action we can check, is this to make somebody else happy? Ideally, Krishna. Or is this to make myself happy? Brian comes and says, or Subal, there's a service. There are so many pots in the kitchen. I want you, Edgar, to wash these pots. So what's your response? You want to say?
My response is probably I want to go back to bed.
Yeah. So would it be lust or love?
Well, I think lust.
Or love for yourself? Love for your sleeping bag.
It depends on what is most helpful.
Yeah.
Even for Krishna to come to me, if I'm sick and I'm in pain and
Okay, yeah, no, okay, that's another consideration. If you would be sick and in pain, then it would be cruel, Subal, to call you to do the pots, right? No, he would not do that. No, but what I didn't want to put you on the stage, but of course, we all acting mostly our first concern is, wait a second, how does it serve me? It put in the mouth of Albert Einstein. I'm not sure if that's true, because many things put in the mouth of Albert Einstein. But I heard that once he said, I say it first in German, because it's wo Liebe rechnet, ist sie bettelarm. Where love counts, she is very poor. Where love counts, meaning where love sees, okay, what get I out of it? If I marry Gopi Gita, what do I get out of it? Exactly. Very good. Very good. Yeah. But I didn't think, there will be a beautiful little boy coming out of Gopi Gita. That was not my concern. So now it's too much love now, the premature is going. Too much. He speaks too much about marriage. So yeah, but that would be not the ideal thing. And this has happened actually when we fall into love. Now Subal will go soon. When we fall into love, what happens to us? Are you hungry when you're in love? Are you hungry?
No.
Really? You were ever in love? Okay. We don't want to go into this conversation. But who was in love before? Edgar, you were in love?
Yes.
Me too. So what happens? Are you hungry? You thinking about eating? Somebody were in love who didn't think about eating? Huh? Yeah, you only think of eating together. But are you when you're in love with your paramour, you just met him and you think about I think we should go to sleep, or think like that? No, you don't think about sleeping. You think this day could never end. It's again. Oh, it's the sun came up. Did we had night, or is it just from another day? Huh? So you don't think about all of this. Now, when we look at our Goswamis, Did they think about sleeping? No. Did they sometimes forget eating? Sure. So because they were in love, ecstatic love. Yes. And therefore, when we in love with a person, we kind of ecstasy. Everything we can connect with that person. I see a rose, I think of Edgar. Right? Yeah. So because I think it belongs to nobody else. This rose belongs to nobody else than my paramour. Nobody should get it. You know, if some other lady comes and buys this rose, I want to buy this roses in this shop, and then some other lady comes and buys these roses. How dare this demon lady? She takes the roses what belong to my lady. Right? We completely convinced about this. We can combine everything with that. So the Goswamis, they have the same mindset. They think everything in this world is beautiful. To whom does it belong? To the creator of the, right? To the one who owns it, basically. So therefore, now touching again your point, if you see beauty in this world, or you see this world, or practicality, fame, whatever it is, it belongs to Krishna. Yes, because it's a manifestation of whom? Shri. Yeah. So many. It's Radharani. It's that Shakti. This. Who said it? Priyasaki, you said it before. It's the pleasure potency of the Lord. It belongs to the Lord. Everything belongs to the Lord. But now, what's the problem? Yeah, that's the shortcut. Yeah, that's true. But I want to, from Edgar, what's the problem?
The problem is when we get too attached, I would say.
Exactly, because we think, no, it belongs to me. This rose belongs to me. And I give it to whoever I want to give it. I want to give it to this lady. Because when I give her the rose, she will be in favor of me. So who will be the enjoyer? That's the problem. That's our mentality, that we think this world belongs to me. And I use this world for my satisfaction. And there it's getting complicated. And we are all on that mission. That we all think, oh, it's me. It belongs to me. And in the moment we think this belongs to some higher, to the one who really belongs it belongs to God, then I start to serve. And this is each and every moment when I chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To whom belongs this mantra? Yes. Therefore, sometimes the Buddhists say, I have to chant my japa. Yes, I have to chant my japa. No, it's Krishna's japa. It's his name. It's his fame. It's his glory. When you do kirtan, oh, no, I'm such a good singer, right? Standing in front, everybody is singing along with me. I control the whole mass. No, it's Krishna's name. It's Krishna. He appears in the name. So put him on the throne. Right? And when we have this mentality, the kirtan goes out of this world. Literally. We just heard again a kirtan of Kadamankana Swami. This was his expertise. He could take a melody. Everybody was attracted because he had common melodies very often. And then in one point, he took it and shoot it out of the world. And everybody was going crazy with it. Or? That was his expertise. He was not just a musician. He was a transcendental transformer. And this is actually what devotee is. This is where we have to work on. To take something what is material and spiritualize it with our consciousness. That we take it in this moment, idam Krishnaya, idam namama. This belongs to Krishna, it doesn't belong to me. And in this way, the material world becomes a very beautiful place. Becomes a very beautiful place because everything can be used in Krishna's service and is in connection with the Lord. And when we see the love between this world and Krishna, because we see it's Ladini Shakti, there's so much love between them, then we become part of this love circus. We become part of it. And this is what we actually want to do. Then there's no separation between Krishna and his energies. And we are part of it. But that's a school. It's not, although we know the philosophy, it's not, oh, I read it, now I know it. Not that easy. Therefore, we follow this process of sadhana bhakta to train ourselves. Idam Krishnaya, idam namama. Idam Krishnaya, idam namama. Idam mama, Krishnaya namama. Huh? So we fall down. It happens all the time. But doesn't matter. Just stand up. Get it. Do it again. Try to make it right. You know, each mantra, our mind slips into whatever world, you know, nothing to condemn. Okay, that's our nature. We programmed like this from time immemorial of material energy. But now, the next mantra, I surrender. Therefore, Purichand Prabhu, when he in his Chapa seminar, you did this Chapa seminar with Purichand Prabhu? What is his approach to what he says? Yes, just try to hear one mantra. Just try to hear one mantra. Did you hear this mantra? Yeah. Was it difficult? No. Okay, try another one. You know, in this way we carry it through our chapa. Just try to hear one mantra. And then when you see it makes a difference, and then suddenly your chapa becomes something what really enlivens you, what really takes you on a trip to Krishna. And suddenly you find yourself serving the holy name. Because it's service. It's a difference when you utter the holy name. When we go out on the street chanting Harinam, if we in our mind make the connection in ourselves, we make the connection, the mantra, we singing the mantra, and at the same time we think of Krishna. It's a different energy. But if we go out on Harinam and sing, you know, and oh, look at this show windows. What do they have there? Oh, so expensive. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Wow, look at this ladies order. No, I don't want to see these ladies. Hare Rama, Hare... Oh, ice cream. Maybe later on. Huh? It's a different energy. So that's devotee. That's where we work on. And we all on the same page. I mean, at least from my side. I'm not whatever I'm speaking, but I'm speaking to myself. So this is where we have to work on. And we are in this together. We are family. We're trying this. And Prabhupada, he knows exactly where we are, so he put us together in this association of devotees. He called it ISKCON. Nowadays we say ISKCON, whatever. But no, that's Prabhupada's simple house, what he created, that we can come together, practicing sadhana bhakti, and in this way, together we make progress, and we get purified. And Krishna knows exactly our heart. He knows what's going on. He hears all these mantras. We don't hear them. We don't hear our 16 rounds. We maybe speak them, but we don't hear them. But here, he hears them. And he knows, but he sees, first of all, he sees, okay, although maybe it's not perfect, but at least he's trying. He's trying. He's giving his time. He does this because time is another thing what we try to keep for ourselves. It's my time. When I joined the Hare Krishna movement, a friend of mine said, "Well, really, for 2 hours a day, you're chanting this. You know what you can do in 2 hours? What I would do in 2 hours? Why you give 2 hours?" But what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Kala, Kalasmi, I'm time. Right? So in this moment where we sit down and say, no, whatever, I give 2 hours of this time, I give to Krishna. Krishna sees it as an offering, and he accepts it. And he sees our heart, and gradually he gives us, he purifies us. And it works exactly like Dhruva Maharaj, because when we come in devotional service, Krishna takes care. Like, Gopal Gita and myself, we have a house, we have even a car, we have everything what we need. And sometimes I'm thinking, who's serving whom? Right? So, 1 second. So, he gives us what we need, but in the same time, my mind is thinking, what is this? I'm supposed to serve Krishna. Oh. Okay. I'm supposed to serve Krishna, but here, what we have here, Krishna is serving me. And I'm becoming so embarrassed that I think, how I can pay this back. And this is the start of the purification, because we see actually Krishna serves me much more than although I call myself Das. But he serves me much more than, he's actually Ramananda Das. He becomes the Das. Yeah, but he becomes Ramananda Das. He serves me much more. That's embarrassing. And this is the start where the purification starts, where I think, no, that's not right. Let me actually be a better servant to Krishna than he serves me. Let me try to serve better, right? And in this way, all these things, they get purified. In the end, we say like Dhruva Maharaj, I was wanting this so much, but what I got in the end was broken glass. I want to have diamonds. I was craving for diamonds. But in the end, when I see, you gave me these diamonds, but it's just broken glass. What is a diamond? It's just a piece of broken glass. Although people put so much value on it, but what is it? It's nothing compared to this, what I actually meant for. Okay, so I don't want to go on. I think I made a point here. As I always say, as I always point out, it's not that I want to tell you something. I tell you what the scriptures actually try to tell me, and I try to share this with you. And I'm asking you, please give me your blessings that somehow or other I can really realize this and become a servant one day. And it's only possible with your blessings. So I'm asking all of you, please bless me that one day I can fulfill these words, what I try to speak here. Beatrice. Thank you. Gopal Gita, you had a hand up. Is it ecstasy or is it you have a question?
Question on desire, because we could have a bit of a false understanding of okay, I have no desires. Sometimes it can be that devotees then become quite neutral or complacent because we're waiting, we're trying to push down any desires and just be, so to say, the best devotee. So could you speak a little bit on that?
Yeah, thank you for this question, although I think you know the answer. No, I mean, yes, desires, we come with desires. This body is a device of fulfillment of desires. we have this body because we desired it. How did we create it? With our karma. So we created this body to fulfill our desires. It's like if you don't have a need to call somebody, you don't need a telephone. Because nowadays we want to communicate with the whole world, we need these little things. Right? I come from a time where we had, you want to call somebody, you had to go to some further houses, there was a telephone. And somewhere in the middle of the city there was a telephone box. You could put some money. Oh, Purusha, there was no telephones. We didn't have telephones. I don't know how we lived. We didn't have telephones. But now we have to have telephones. So there was not a much desire to phone somebody. But with the telephones, then there became suddenly we had a desire. And now we have to need to we have to be reachable all the time. So anyway, this body is a device of desires. We have the desires and we have to fulfill them. Therefore, we need to have a body. We wanted that. That's very important. We wanted to have a body. We wanted to have a material body. And to fulfill our desires, we need a special body. Has to have to be beautiful. Has to be intelligent. Has to be smart. Has to be fully functional. What is when you have a beautiful body or if you have a good brain, but you're sitting in a wheelchair, like this. Who was this? Yes, So what's the use? Okay, he's known for his intelligence, but he could not enjoy his body. So you need a perfect body, right? And therefore you need good karma. So you're creating your body with your desires. So we made out of desires. We here because of our desires. This we have to first of all realize. And these desires, we cannot just switch. We cannot just turn them off. No desires. Because it doesn't work. The soul, we have desires. That's natural for us. The problem is that our desires are not pure because we desire things for ourselves. And this is our ego dictates us. No. America first. Oh, no. Ramananda first. Right? Or India first. Well, whatever it is, Germans, we are first, whatever. That's just the extended version of our own mind. Because my mind is Ramananda first. Did you know this, Gita? No. Yeah, so that's my motivation. First of all, what's there for me? Right? And that's my desire. So as devotees, we try to switch this desire to say, no, not Ramananda first, but Krishna first. Therefore, Ramananda, Gopal, Dasa, genau. So we try to train our desires, to switch our desires, to focus our desires on Krishna. And that's not easy. That's not, we just read it, we just can do it. We try to do it. But it's still, we still work in process. So we have to see what is our capacity. What desires are for me healthy at this moment to give up, and which desires we maybe keep for a while because this keeps us alive. For example, I have the desire to be healthy. If I would say, I don't care, I just wear my kopin, go out, and I don't have to bother about washing, like Shukadeva Goswami. Completely, free of all selfish desires. He just goes out, everybody thinks he's crazy, but he doesn't care. He doesn't have any ego. He doesn't care if I would go out, I think, oh, what Paul Weiss, what he thinks of me if I walk around like this or whatever, because I have an ego, right? And so Shukadeva Goswami didn't care, but he was pure. So I have the need not only the desire, I have the need to be healthy. So therefore, I dress myself. And my first concern is, of course, not what Bauer Weiss thinks. My first concern is, am I warm enough? Right? Am I warm enough? Do I keep my body warm, that it's healthy, that I can function? Because what can I do if I fall sick? So there would be a problem. Not only for me, even for more people involved, right? Because who's, so whatever. So I have a need to stay healthy. I have a need to, we're approaching 9 o'clock. Am I the only person who have this need? Yeah. I have the need, So I have to have some desires. They're important for me to function. Does it make sense to give it up for me? No. But what could I do with these needs?
Reduce the needs.
Okay, this is the second part. The first part is? Huh? That's the final goal. But first of all, what is our, when we come in contact with the devotees, what do they say in order of eating, first of all? Huh? Okay, regulated. Regulated means, first of all, don't eat. No, don't eat meat, don't eat fish, don't eat, regulate your eating habits. Okay, that's the first one, because suddenly I become conscious. Before I even was not even conscious what I put in my body, what I stuffed myself with, all kinds of snacks and choco bars and whatever is tasty to my tongue, because my tongue was dictating. My tongue is the most ferocious sense of my desires. Say whatever, put it in. And I put it in, whatever the billboard tells me, drink this, eat this, whatever, I do this, I become happy. I didn't become happy, but I was not. Now, suddenly, the Hare Krishnas, they tell me, no, you should not eat meat, eat fish and what else? Eggs. You should not eat this. Okay, why are they telling me this? Okay, I should not eat this. Do I really want to become a Hare Krishna? But but they say I should not eat meat. There's again, I have to eat something. Should I eat? The Hare Krishnas would say I don't eat the sausage. Maybe I should not eat the sausage. So we become conscious. Suddenly we are conscious of our eating, and we have the responsibility to make a choice what we eat. Therefore, we regulate our eating, and then, as you said, Bhagavad Gita and Subal, we try to spiritualize our eating habits. How do we do this? Yes, we offer it, so we're eating only Krishna Prasadam. Right? So we start to regulate our desires. When we regulate it, we try to spiritualize it in the next step. And when we spiritualize it, these desires become one with desires of Krishna. And this is what Prabhupada says, I don't have any desire for my desires are in line with Krishna's desires. And suddenly, it was not that Prabhupada thought, oh, one day when I'm old, when I'm 70 years old, I will go around the world and will spread Krishna consciousness, some weird cult from India. Was not Prabhupada's desire. No, it was the desire of his spiritual master. And it was ultimately the desire of Krishna. So Krishna, as Prabhupada wrote on the Chaladutta, let me become a puppet in your hands. Let me dance, let me dance, let me dance. It's not that Prabhupada wanted to dance. 70 years old, 70-year-old man wanted to dance. So it was Krishna's desire. He said, okay, let me be the fulfillment of your desire. Right? So we have to see, okay, what is my desires who are needful for now? What desires do I have? And try to regulate them and try to spiritualize them. And then in one point they will be purified and there will be an alliance with the desires of Krishna. But it doesn't happen from now, from immediately. It's a process. And we have to be patient on this process. But we should enter the boat. Right? Gopi Gita? What's this? Are you satisfied? How you regulate your desires now?
Put some consciousness into it.
Okay. Something else, or are we having now enough of the words of Ramananda and have the desire for prasadam now? Steaming hot. Oh no, who's cooking today? Huh? Radha Singer. Oh, nice soup and bread, oh? Oh, nice soup and bread. Why not? Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Prem